Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead, and today we're going to make Papa's favorite dessert from his childhood, cream horns. Now what you're going to need for cream horns is, if I can get them apart, these are funnels. These are actually bigger than I expected them to be. I've never made these before, but I was bound and bent that I was going to make these for Papa. You're going to need approximately 8 cream horn funnels. And this is a third of a full recipe of my puff pastry. All right, let's butter these. When Wolfie was a little boy, whenever they went shopping, his father, if they went by a bakery, his father would buy these cream horns. Now, Howie's been telling me about them for years, and I've actually never seen them. So I looked them up, and I thought, well, that's not too difficult. Yes, it's time consuming, but if you make your puff pastry in advance, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm actually going to stand these up over here off of my cloth. And pretty much all they are is puff pastry that has been baked and filled with whipped cream. Now, of course, I'm going to use stabilized whipped cream so that he can take 1 or 2 in his lunch tomorrow. Now we've got our cream horn funnels all buttered and set aside over here, standing up. We're going to take our puff pastry and we're going to roll it out to a certain degree. We're not going to roll it like thin like we would for the cream horns just yet. You don't want to roll this out too thin because we're going to roll it out some more. But we kind of want it long. Okay, here is a parchment lined cookie sheet, and we're going to cut this in 8. So how I do that as evenly as possible is I cut the first one in half again, in half again, and then in half again. Ideally you want like 1-inch strips. The ends, of course, are going to be just a little bit on the rounded side. Now this is about, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. And now we're just going to roll it out. So now we're going to take our funnel. And normally these funnels actually have a point on them, and this one doesn't. So I'm just going to start here. And I'm going to pinch that. And then I'm going to put this on an angle. We're just going to follow the edge of our cream horn, or our pastry, all the way up so that it just slightly overlaps. Okay, here are our 8 pastries on the funnel, and some of them don't have, some of them have a hole in the bottom. That's not a big deal. Now we're going to lay these seam side down or finish side down, and we're going to pop these in the freezer for about 20 minutes to firm up. All right, and then we're going to get on to the whipping cream. Okay, for our stabilized whipped cream, we're going to need about 1 cup. I don't even think I'm going to need that much. Maybe 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, which is 35% fat. You're going to need a pouch of Knox gelatin or any kind of just plain unflavored gelatin, and you're going to need about 1 tablespoon of icing sugar. Now I always put my bowl and my beater in the freezer to chill because it helps the finished product. But first, while that's freezing, okay, so first we're going to put in our heavy whipping cream. I also have a piping bag with a big end on it in readiness. And we're going to start this whipping. We're going to add a tablespoon or so of our homemade icing sugar. Drop in our gelatin. And about a teaspoon of our homemade vanilla. Now let's let her rip. You do not want this to whip too long, folks, or you're going to have butter. All right, now we're going to take our lovely whipped cream and we're going to fill our piping bag. Now I'm just going to roll up the end, and I'm going to pop this in the fridge to chill while we bake our shells. Okay, here we have an egg wash, which is just an egg beaten with a little bit of water and some powdered sugar in a little sifter. We're going to take each cream horn, or each funnel cake, I guess you could call it, and we're going to just brush on some egg wash, and we're going to sprinkle on. Okay, here they are, ready to go into a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes. Now don't be alarmed, folks, if the egg wash absorbs some of your sugar, okay, because we're going to dust them afterwards again anyway. All right, 400 degrees, 20 minutes. Okay, that says our cream horns, or our pastries, our funnel cakes, whatever you call them, are ready. Oh my goodness. Look at these beauties. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully take these off the tray. I'm going to put one end of a spoon into the funnel, and I'm just going to set them on a wire rack to cool. Now that these are somewhat cool, we're just going to very carefully twist and take out our funnels. There we go. Once they're cool, we will fill them. Our funnels are now cool enough that we can pipe in our whipped cream. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just putting this old jar lid in a bowl so that I have some tilt to this. And we are just going to take our stabilized whipped cream and go down as far as we can into the funnel. And then pop it onto a plate. Now once again, we're going to take some of our sugar and we're just going to dust them over the top. Aren't they lovely? I made a surprise for you today. Are you ready?
Yep. Sit down.
What are they?
They're cream horns.
So at least they resemble what you had as a child?
They do. My favorite treat as a kid. Very good.
Bring back any memories?
Very nice. The sugar is a little different.
You mean they never used to have sugar?
They had coarse sugar.
Well, we don't have any coarse sugar, so.
Very good and still.
All right, that's the only one you get. You got to have supper now.
Okay.
Okay. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, cream horns. Simple, but time consuming. But nothing's too good for my baby. Take care. Bye-bye.